is all that's left of us. But only if you ever worry. While the signs were clear, they had no idea. You just get used to living.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Evan from Epic Duel Time. I'm doing a profile on the Spellbook Prophecy deck from this week's video. I've been playing this deck a couple weeks now. I enjoy the way it plays. It's definitely different from a lot of other decks that are currently kind of more mainstream meta than this. While I think this deck has some real competitive potential, I think once Cosmo Blazer comes out, we'll be able to get a better idea of what the deck really can do, but because the Master Spellbook or whatever it's called is really, really good. But for now, I think this deck's really fun, and it's a good deck. I've topped my locals with it numerous times. I won a couple locals with it. Yeah, and it's not bad for having played it a couple weeks, so I'm still getting used to it. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. I run 3 High Priestess. I think 3 Priestess is the perfect amount to be running. I wouldn't run anything less. 3 Spellbook Magician. Despite the fact that Thunder King can really hurt the deck, this card's really solid because it gives you defense because you can set it and get its effect when it gets flipped by attacking it, or you can normal summon it and get it off the field with Wonder Wand, and that's also really good. So you have a lot of options with it. It also gives you a lot of targets with Spellbook of Life for your other monsters. 2 copies of Temperance and 1 copy of Justice. If this were a slower format, I would say to do 2 copies of Justice, 2 copies of Temperance. But the problem is, this format requires a lot more direct results from your plays. So you need to you can't just build up, like, with the amount of OTKs, you can't just build a great hand. You have to have field presence as well as hand presence. So you want to be able to control the board, and Priestess is fantastic at doing it. So again, if it were a slower format, I would definitely run 1 more Justice, because I think the card's amazing, especially with Spellbook of Power on this. But until then, I'm going to be keeping it the way it is right now. I run 2 Stoic, and I've talked to a lot of my friends about it who know about the deck, and they don't agree with those 2 Stoic. I like it because I run Foolish. It gets me to my combo cards a lot faster. It thins my deck. It gives me targets for my Grand Spellbook Tower. All in all, it's a really good card. I also run 1 Veiler. Veiler's kind of lost a lot of its touch for this format. I still really like it. I think it's a great card. But in the mainstream meta, it's really not as amazing as it used to be. But the 1 Veiler really does add a lot of consistency. It's also a spellcaster, so it's searchable off of you can summon it off of the Spellbook Tower and you can banish it. So it's really cool when you have the value Veiler and then you can banish it for the Spellbook of Life later. And it also helps make formula. 2 Tragoedia. With such a low monster count, Trag really helps. You can make rank 10, and I'll explain that, but you have so many different levels, you can copy all the different levels with Trag and make plays. It's really cool. And 1 Spirit Reaper. This is just as much as an aggressor as it is a defensive card. In this deck, I primarily use it as defense. Set it and end and just try drawing my combo pieces while I'm being protected by Reaper. Because it can be the difference between losing and winning very, very fast. Next, 3 Spellbook of Secrets. That's pretty self-explanatory. 3 Spellbook of Wisdom. This card is really it's underestimated. A lot of players don't realize that I can chain this to almost everything, and it protects me from other spells. It's also cool because I can chain this to Spellbook. It's not chain, but I can use this after Spellbook of Power has resolved, and I'll still get all of Power's benefits because Power has lingering effect. So if you play Power on a monster and it resolves, and then something happens and you get Mirror Forged on your attack, you can Spellbook of Wisdom your monster, or you get Book of Moon, I guess is a better example, and you can Spellbook of Wisdom it and protect it from spells while still gaining all the benefits of Power. So just keep that in mind. 2 Grand Tower. This card's amazing. 2 Power, 2 Eternity, 2 Life, and 1 Star Hall. I've since switched the Star Hall to a copy of Spellbook of Fate. I think Fate's a way better choice than Starhall. I was using Starhall to get to Valor faster, but I thought it was a really cool way of getting my Valor and my combo pieces like Temperances and Magicians back into my hand. But then I realized that I'd rather the Fate and then have to be able to like banish things like Shock Masters and banish things like Zen Mains and stuff, which are like huge hang-ups in this deck. So I can just set this, and then I have a bunch of Spellbooks in my grave, and then on his turn, during his standby phase, I can banish the Shock Master and get it off the board. So I'd rather do that. So I'm subbing this for Fate. I'd suggest it. Not that this isn't a good card, I just think that Fate's way better in a Turbo Spellbook. But 3 Wonder Wand. Again, this gets me... I sometimes use it for its attack boost, but a lot of times when I play Reasoning, and I hit my Stoics and my Valors, I really can't leave those on the field because it's just dead. So I'd rather Wonder Wand them out and start drawing cards and be able to draw something that's worth normal summoning. So those are the real combo pieces that set things up and start making the deck flow. Next I just have 5 one-ofs, 1 Reborn, 1 MST, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Heavy, and 1 Foolish. Why I'm running a back row hate card is because while Wisdom's amazing, there are times where you just need to get things off the board and you want your opponent to stop plussing all of them. Not everything's out to affect you. So you want them to, whether it's, it can be anything really, but you want to free up your field a little more, and when you need to get like a Temperance off or you need to get something, and they've just, you're reading that they have warning or something, I'd rather blind MST it and try to bait it or something. I'd rather know what I'm doing rather than assume that I'm safe because of Wisdom. Wisdom does not stop everything. Heavy Storm is still good because I only run, since this is kind of coming out for Spellbook of Fate. I used the Starhall in the video, but since it's coming out for Fate, the only thing that I leave on the field, just like leave it there, if for back row, is the tower, and sometimes that gets destroyed, so I'd rather have a heavy than not. I'll heavy my own tower if I have to. If my opponent has 2 back row and I want to go push for game, I'll heavy the stupid tower. I don't really care. It's worth it. Foolish again is to get Stoics out. Also, there are times where I've had to fill my graveyard for a Spellbook of Life or something. I'll play this and pitch a monster. I try to pitch Stoic so that I can at least get a plus off of it. Dark Hole, obviously Reborn. Those are really self-explanatory. So the deck's exactly 40. 15 monsters, 25 spells. This deck really falls victim to windups a lot because of Shockmaster. And I don't know, I hate that. That seems to be the only thing that, like, a lot of windup players, especially my local, that's all they know how to do is the Shock Lock, and like they can't play the deck, they just play it as Shock Lock. So it's pretty much just a checklist of like, oh, I do this, 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 and this. It's annoying, but that's Yu-Gi-Oh. For extra, 1 Formula, 1 Armor Arm, 1 Cataster, 1 Arcanite, 1 Black Rose, and 1 Stardust. For extra deck Xyz, I run 1 Gachi, 1 Gusto Phoenix. This is really cool because fun combo is if I play Magician, I get to combo pieces, and I play Spellbook of Life, I banish a level 1, and then I summon a Stoic, and then I overlay, and because Life gives him the ability to be level 2, and then I can remove Stoic as material, and that'll buff him and give him his effect, and I get Stoic's effect because he was sent to the graveyard. 1 Temtempo. Temtempo is really nasty. I really like it when I can make it. A lot of times I end up just making it off a Trag. 1 Zen Mines, 1 Leviair. The only rank 4 run is Abyss Dweller. I run 1 Tyrus. This is kind of an awkward one to make. It's a little harder. It has like Spellbook of Life and something else. I don't know. It's kind of awkward. I don't do it much. I just have it. It's probably gonna get subbed out for something else. Number 11, Big Eye, and 1 Gustav Max. I'll explain Gustav quickly. It requires me to play Priestess off of a Spellbook of Life, having banished to Temperance or Justice, so she's level 10, I have a Trag, and I do my attacks, I do my pops, and then I overlay and make this. I play it in defense mode. I burn them, and the next time I burn them, and I pretty much at the end at that point, because I'm assuming my Trag was decently sized. So that's my extra, and then my side. These are kind of generic sides for my local. They work pretty well. I'm always open to new things. I don't run Secret Village and Spellcaster. I have them, I'm just not a huge fan of them. I think it's kind of a weaker side. It restricts you as well, and I don't think it works as well in the turbo build. So 2 Snow Eater. This is something nobody sees coming. It also provides defense. It kills Thunder King, and that's really why I run it. Is you set and they send Thunder King because they think, oh well, I've really got him, and that's a magician, and it's never a magician. It's always usually my Snowman Eater. I pop, and I have now a level 3 monster floating that I can play off of later and make Ixies. And you'll see in the video, like, that's what I do. It's quite amazing, and people still need to, like, all slower decks need to run this. 1 Breaker. This is probably going to go to 2 Breaker. I really like Breaker. He's really good. 1 Veiler and 1 Maxi. Next, I wrote aside 1 more MST and 1 Soul Taker. 2 Dimensional Fissure. The whole deck pretty much can operate on a Fissure, because all you're really doing is putting your Spellbooks in the graveyard. And you can play out of them, so it doesn't really matter. It's mainly for Water and Dark Worlds. 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Insectors, Dark Worlds. 2 Soul Drain. Again, Water, Dark World, and then 2 Royal Decree, but it's a trapless deck, so you can get away with running it. I run this a lot against heroes. Any deck that runs a lot of traps, this gets sided in, and it shuts them down instantly, and it's great. This is great against Dino Rabbit too, because it freezes their macros, and they have a choice to make of risking the MST just to pop this. It's not really worth it that much. So they try to play under it, and they don't always have the MST. Okay, that's the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Keep doing America.